All right, let me get the links posted and we will get going. Um, Lots of other random topics to discuss today once I get this posted. Um, Outside of the Cavs, I feel like it's been a busy news day in the sports world. All right. Hi, guys. Just got to post on one more spot and then I will start. Okay. My phone just updated today and it is causing me lots of confusion when I'm trying to type in things. There we go. All right. Okay, so posted in most places. So, okay. So much news happening today outside of Cavs basketball. I feel like first and biggest to discuss is obviously Miles Garrett contract extension. 123.5 million guaranteed, 40 million a year, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, which is a wild title to have, very well deserved. I was pretty shocked when I saw it come through. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be because free agency is about to start this week, so it felt like now would probably be a good time for them to come to some type of agreement. Um, I guess the whole situation, to be honest, still confuses me because Miles knew that they would not be able to trade him. Like financially, it would be impossible for the Browns to trade him this season. So the options this season were either going to be contract extension or Miles was going to have to hold out and like sit out of playing, which I feel like he did not want to do. That was not an option he wanted to go with. So I'm still kind of left confused on like what his goal was in everything that he was doing because I think the team was always going to pay him and they were always going to be willing to give him a large amount of money for an extension. I don't think that was ever a question. So I don't think it was about money. Like I truly do think it was about him being unhappy. And I'm still not sure what changed. I don't know if there were more conversations that he had with Andrew Berry over the last few days about the team's plans for free agency and the draft, where Miles was more comfortable with it and felt like he believed in the plan more. Um, because there's no other reason I feel like for him to feel more comfortable at this point in time to be signing that extension. I mean, obviously it's a ton of money, but like I said, I think the team was always going to be willing to put that kind of money down. I mean, you could say a lot of things about Jimmy Haslam and, I will say those things about Jimmy Haslam, but he is not cheap. He will spend money on his players. So I don't think that was ever going to be a question for your like Hall of Fame edge rusher to not pay him. Like they were always going to be willing to do that. But nonetheless, I'm very happy that it got done. I'm happy it got done before free agency because it gives the team more information going into you know, this period of time on like what they need to be getting and what they need to be bringing in. Um, I think fans have I've talked about this on here and some other shows too. Fans have a very short memory where like when something is upsetting to them, they'll get over it pretty quickly. If the team starts winning, nobody is going to be talking about what happened with Miles this offseason. And like the best example I can go to for that is Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and how bad things were when those contract conversations were happening, and how little anyone speaks about it now because since then he's had an MVP season, almost a second MVP season. So, nobody even thinks about the period of time where like the Ravens were saying some bad things about Lamar and everything was really contentious. And if it felt like the way everyone was talking about that situation at that point in time was there is no returning to normalcy in this. How do they get over this? It's going to be impossible. And now it's totally fine. So I really believe that that will be the same for Miles and the Browns. As long as the team is winning, I think winning solves so many problems for everyone. So I feel like everything is going to end up being okay. It's also ironic that it's happening today because Jimmy Haslam is part owner of the Bucks, and Miles is part owner of the Cavs, so they're really facing off tonight in this in this basketball game, which is pretty funny. Um, but yeah, that was obviously the big news of the day. Non-Browns related, but just came out was the Josh Allen news, making him the highest paid quarterback in the league. Also, this is just big for us Browns fans here, the most guaranteed money ever given in a contract, 250 million. And that number made me happy so that 230 million doesn't have to be this baseline anymore of like no one's hitting this guaranteed money that Deshaun Watson, the worst quarterback in the league, was making. So that's nice to see from a selfish perspective. But yeah, I mean, well deserved for Josh, obviously coming off an MVP season. The cap going up this year at least 22 million, if not more. He and other quarterbacks are going to be definitely getting in on the money there. So that was a big one. In the AFC, there was DK to the Steelers. I think he got like 150 million or something crazy. Big deal there, which I was a little bummed about because I actually like DK. So I'm kind of sad that I have to hate him now, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, but now that the game is on, we'll kind of talk game. But if you have any other random NFL free agency or not free agency, but trades or just anything, deals you want me to talk about, just pop them in the chat. And when we have commercial breaks and stuff, I'll try to touch on those. Did a lot of rambling there to start this for 10 minutes. Not sure how I'm feeling about this game tonight, but we'll see. We will see. Cavs have been interesting lately in the last couple of games where it almost feels like they're trying to lose or trying to make things harder for themselves. Keeping it close at the end for no apparent reason. So we'll see what tonight brings if it's a similar vibe. Nice, Jarrett. Milwaukee lost to the Magic last night. That's good to know. Mm. Ugh, good job, Max. I feel like Max has really been fighting for rebounds as of late, which I enjoy. I think on one of my lives the other day, someone was asking like what teams in the East I fear the most. And obviously Celtics is at the top of that list, but I did mention the Bucks as being one of those teams because I think when you have a team that has like a Giannis and a Dame and you have to play them in the playoffs, like you should never be too confident in that. Even if throughout the regular season it seems like they're the better team, I think there's still when you have that star power, I think that's something you should be worried about in the playoffs. Yeah, the other night when Donovan missed both of his free throws at the very end of the game, it was like, are we trying to like figure out how close we can make this and still win? What are we doing? And you guys know how I feel about missing late free throws. Unacceptable behavior. Nice Mobley. A Mobley three. Always a beautiful thing. Come on, grab it. No. Dang. Jeez. And that's why Giannis is scary. Giannis is such an interesting player. I read there's a book. What is the name of it? Giannis, the Improbable Rise of an NBA Champion. I think he like worked with someone on the book, another guy wrote it. Such a fascinating life story, fascinating upbringing. It makes you really like appreciate who he is as a player and like where he got to now for sure. All right. Yeah, I do agree on that last game. The second missed free throw at the end makes sense in terms of, the opposing team not having any timeouts left. But the first one, I'm like, buddy, you got to make that. You cannot be missing. Not when it's that close. Yeah, I was just pulling up Josh's contract that I was talking about earlier so that we could I could get the specific numbers for it. So I knew it was the 250 million guaranteed. It's a 6-year, overall $330 million contract. Crazy, 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 but deserved. Other quarterback movement, Geno to the Raiders, which I had never considered, I guess, Geno as a potential quarterback for the Browns. But once that move was made to the Raiders, I was kind of like, I wonder if the Browns ever considered doing that. I actually think that is maybe something they should have considered as like a vet to bring in while they have a rookie that they're going to be developing this year. I feel like Geno could have been a nice option. Um, Someone did mention that, like, apparently his numbers are way worse in outdoor weather as compared to a dome. But I mean, he played in Seattle, so it's not like he's not used to it. But I would have been curious if that would have been something that the Browns were considering or maybe making some calls for. Um, there's just so few options out there at this point in time, which is a frustrating place to be. I tweeted about this the other day. I was like, I don't feel excited about any of the potential quarterback options out there. And I had a lot of replies of different ones that people seem to be excited about that I just have not been able to um, get behind. Like I still don't feel super pumped about Cam Ward or Shador. There's just not really free agents or trades left that are exciting to me. You know, Justin Fields is someone that I would be interested in bringing in, but I'm not sure that I would feel good about relying on him fully as like the starter. I think Justin Fields would be an interesting quarterback to bring in where you could use him in certain packages, similar to how the Steelers used him. But I don't know how I feel about putting everything on the back of Justin Fields. But that might be one of the only ways that they can go. I don't want to go back to Jameis. I don't think that's a good idea. I think last season was so bad that you just don't want to touch what was happening there. Um, I don't want to do Flacco again. Flacco's another couple years older than he was when he was playing here. I just don't think that's a good idea either. So they need a fresh start for sure. All right. What the Bucks record is right now. Let's pull up the Eastern Conference standings. Bucks are 36-26. It's funny because pretty much everyone else's record looks bad when you put it next to the Cavs. 53-10. Like, yeah, everyone else sounds pretty terrible when you put it next to that. It was a nice play by Jarrett there. I know. How could you forget the loss to your Orlando Magic? I swear every time we play the Bucks, I forget that Doc is their coach now. That man is coached everywhere. So every time he pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, that's where he is now. I don't know how I feel about these Bucks jerseys. The blue and black. Meh, not my favorite. I don't hate them, but oh, nice. Lovely ball movement there. That's been something fun to watch lately is I feel like the more this team has gotten comfortable with each other and played with each other for a longer period of time, the better the ball movement flows. They know each other's tendencies, their instincts are good now. It's so fun to watch when they get in those kind of rhythms. Oof, a lot of sloppiness here. All right, let me know if you guys can see me again. Sorry I got disconnected there, but hopefully it's working again. Technology. Okay. Sorry about that, but we are back. I couldn't figure out when I was trying to refresh it how to get back in then, but all right. My service must be bad or something right now. I don't think I've ever had that happen on one of these before. Typically haven't seen any issues. Mhm. We've had so many nationally televised games lately. It's kind of crazy. They're really giving us the star treatment, having these ESPN games pretty often here. Not for long, though. I think pretty soon we go back to just being on the local broadcast, which I don't mind. I like having the local broadcast. Yeah, like I think next weekend they moved the time of the Magic Cavs game to earlier in the day, actually, to put it on um, national TV. So they're getting some attention and love. Come on, Donovan, take it. Mm, nada. ABC is what that game is on. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will be in person for that one. Okay, let me go back up to there's a question somewhere. Oh, are you convinced they'll take a QB at 2? I don't know what I feel at this point, to be honest. I think you guys know my like skepticism with where the different sources are coming from that are kind of pushing the narrative that the Browns are going to be taking a quarterback with their first pick. I'm not sure if, that's a play to get other teams to feel that way, what the reasoning is behind it. I'm just not fully sold on it. Um, for me personally, like I just keep going back to the fact that I don't think either of those two guys are worth a first round pick. And in most other drafts with higher quarterback talent, I don't think they would be going top 5, 10, up there in the early picks of the draft. So I still feel weird about taking one of them. The only reason I'm kind of convinced now that they might be doing it is because with Miles kind of changing his mind on this decision, I feel like he had to get some sort of message from the Browns that he feels comfortable with their plan on offense moving forward because obviously like the defense has been a little bit up and down, but offense is the big question mark because of quarterback. We have a couple talented pass catchers. Um, you know, running back is a little bleak right now, but they're hopefully going to be able to draft someone there, figure things out. You have Bitonio coming back on the offensive line. So there's some pieces there on offense, but quarterback being the big question that I would think Miles would want to hear their plan and feel comfortable about what their plan is in order for him to kind of make this the decision that he did today. So I do wonder if they were like, hey, Miles, like this is who we're planning to take, and Miles felt good about that. I don't know. Um, I think we'll get more clarity on that in the coming week with free agency on whatever the Browns choose to do in free agency, because they're probably going to do something there in terms of quarterback, even if it is a backup or someone that they don't plan to use as a starter. They're going to be doing something. Um, so I think that'll give us some more answers on what it feels like the direction they're going in is for the draft. So I'm very, very curious there. Will be interesting for the Steelers is if they do go with like Russ this season, Russ and DK reunited back in Pittsburgh. Weird. That would be weird. Is that Angel Gray doing the sideline reporting for this game? I think that's her. Ex Cavs sideline reporter. It was so nice the other day when the ESPN crew was in town for the Cavs Heat game, and obviously Kevin Love was there for the TV crew. Richard Jefferson was there. Angel Gray was there. Tristan was around. It just felt very 2016 reminiscent, and that always gets me. Always makes me a little emotional. You can tell all of those guys just like really love each other a lot. There was like another clip from the Lakers game the other day where LeBron came from behind and was like messing with Richard, and just it's always nice to see, even though that was now basically a decade ago. Okay, it is Angel Gray. Good. Yeah. Sometimes when someone's standing to the side, I can't fully tell if it's them or not, but I thought she was always really great in Cleveland. She did a nice job. We've had some good Cavs reporters over the years. Allie Clifton was another great one we had. I feel like I mentioned this on here before, but it's so cool to see how much her career has blown up from being a part of the LeBron era Cavs. Really did some awesome things for her. Oh, nice, Donovan. Great awareness. And losing the ball now. Yes, I did know that Angel was doing women's games on ESPN, but good workhorse doing it all. Oh, that would have been sweet. Couple moments of Cavs forcing some turnovers, but they just can't get it done on the other end and make the basket. I'll take the aggression though. Nice to see. I'm like paranoid now that this is going to freeze up again while I'm talking and I'm just not going to know it. So let me know if it does that again. Ty Jerome. I'm sorry, you have to find a way at any cost to bring him back next season. There is no way that you can let that man go. And take him away from his best friend, DeAndre Hunter. Rude. They absolutely can't do that. Check and make sure there isn't any other massive story that has happened. I don't remember if I talked about the Sam Hubbard thing on my last live or not, but pretty crazy to see a guy in his prime making the choice to step away from the game. You have to respect it because he was coming off an injury last year and maybe was just like, I don't want to keep doing this to my body anymore. But it was definitely shocking news to see. And I feel like the Bengals are in a really weird spot right now. Like they um, signed an extension, I believe, for Mike Gesicki, which I thought was I don't know, it's weird for them to be putting, their focus in the areas that they're putting their focus in and not the ones that are, like, the glaring holes and issues that we have. So I don't know, I'm interested to see what the Bengals are gonna look like this coming season. I would be so annoyed if I was T. Higgins and I kept getting put on the franchise tag, like, I'm sure he's feeling a little bit frustrated, and not what he wants, for sure. Not that he's not making good money on the franchise tag because, within the rules of the franchise tag, you're still making a decent salary for that year, but there's not the certainty of multiple years in a deal, and I'm sure he's feeling a little bit frustrated by that. Am I into March Madness? Yeah, once the, like, tournament starts, I will be filling out my bracket and watching games, but, I don't really watch college basketball much throughout the actual regular season. There's just only so many hours in a day and in a week where I can be engaging in sports and also making content, so, some things gotta take the short end of the stick, but I always enjoy March Madness and, rooting for the Cinderella stories and whatnot. Yeah, I agree. Cincy definitely can't keep both. They can't afford it. They can't afford anything. And they have other areas of need that they should be focusing on. Like, I think it would make logical sense for them to move on from T and put their resources towards other positions, particularly the offensive line, the defense, those type of things could use some help, especially the defense after last season and how that defense performed or underperformed, I should say. Oh, yeah, former Cav, Torian Prince. Always fun to see those former Cavs out there. Oh, geez. Well, that's not good. This is kind of NFL adjacent news, but apparently Odell Beckham Jr. has been named a defendant in one of the cases against um, P. Diddy and is being accused of some not great things. So that's not good and will be interesting to follow. Did Odell sign with someone this coming year? I'm unsure. Nice, Mobley. It is really interesting to see. Sorry, I keep talking NFL, but I feel like there's just so much NFL news that's been happening. Um, the choice the Seahawks have made to go like full rebuild, I feel like is really interesting. Like, what was they had a good record last season. I think they were close to being in the playoffs. Let's see. They were 10-7. Yeah, and the Rams were 10-7, so they had the same record as them, but just had probably lost the tiebreaker there. Um yeah, it's just they were so close that it feels like an interesting time to be just like getting rid of everyone, going complete rebuild. I feel like they're getting a little too cocky because I think they were lucky in a way that Gino had turned out to be who he was after moving on from Russ. It usually does not go that way. Um, and now I feel like they think we'll just figure it out again, but it's not always that easy. As we know in Cleveland, not that easy. Yes, I know Odell was with Miami last season. I just wasn't sure if this coming year he has signed with anyone. I want to say no, but let's see. No. Yeah, he was released by the Dolphins in December 2024. Well, probably won't be on a roster then, so yeesh. Also, the for other random NFL news, the Xavier Worthy arrest. I think it was. I didn't read the full article, but I think it was something domestic violence related. These freaking Chiefs receivers cannot seem to keep it together. I mean, they're just always getting in trouble in some way. It's a wild pattern there. What I've been feeling more and more lately that the Browns might be doing is signing Kirk Cousins. I really feel like I'm getting a feeling that it's going in that direction. And I don't know how I feel about it. It's not the worst option available, but like I said, none of the options are exciting me much. And need to beef up that offensive line to protect him for sure. Mm, that was a crazy dunk. Giannis has had a couple big dunks this game already. Oh, nice job, Struce. I didn't realize Okoro went different hairstyle today. I was like, who is that? Dang. Oof. In and out for Struce. Good job, Jarrett. Jarrett putting in some work tonight. It's been an interesting year for Jarrett because obviously it feels like he kind of has taken a back door to a lot of the conversations with, Evan really taking a big step this year, becoming an all-star. You had the other two stars on the team, Darius and Donovan, who were all-stars as well. But Jarrett still had such like a consistently great year. And I feel like that is definitely being overlooked by a lot of people and will probably be overlooked in the playoffs too. Jeez, Giannis. He is just such a beast. Mm. Yeah, Struce is having a great. He's got 14 points, 5 rebounds. It's 5 for 6 from the field and 4 for 5 from three. Great start for Struce. Oh, that would have been sick. Hit it, Darius. Oh my God. Somebody make one. Deaners. Nailed it. Nailed it. I almost kind of feel like with the addition of DeAndre Hunter, like all the other role players have just gotten more comfortable. I wonder if it's just like less pressure, that they feel like they can do what they're best at more because they're not trying to be something else for the team. But it feels like guys like Max have really gotten to flourish, which you would think would maybe go the other way because it's like, okay, DeAndre Hunter is like going to be the other guy that would be starting in place of Struce in certain matchups or maybe taking away minutes from him. But, they, I feel like, have just gotten better. Oh, I mean, Giannis is just so strong when he's under the basket. It's pretty impossible to stop him, it feels like. He has so much power. This is a great making fun of the Bengals tweet that I just saw. So much happening in the NFL tonight. The Bengals front office is going to have their minds blown when they read about it in the newspaper tomorrow. Just kind of like they're behind on everything, Always a fan of AFC North hate over here. Someone said DK and Pickens crash outs at the same time will be special. That's going to be an interesting dynamic for a wide receiver room. I mean, they've always had a lot of personalities in that wide receiver room, but this will just be another interesting group. Come on, Donovan. Oh, that would have been nice. You know what's tough with having these nationally televised games is that you get these later start times. Like I love when our Sunday games start at like 6 p.m. done early. It's a nice, easy Sunday. Not this time. Oof. Darius really wants some calls. Okay, we'll take the putback. Darius has been a little frustrated here. Wow, DK is only 27 years old. I thought he would be older than that. I'm really bad at guessing players' ages lately. Oh, oops. That would have been nice. Because I was going to originally agree with that comment that it's wasted money by Pittsburgh because I felt like DK was older and I thought it was a little weird to be paying a aging receiver that much. But being that he's only 27, I don't hate it as much. And maybe honestly, part of it is like they don't trust Pickens and need to have something in place in that group for the future. I don't know if I would trust Pickens either too. Just fear of him going off the rails. Wow. He's a monster. Like I said, how many dunks is that now? It's got to be like 5 or 6 of them since this game started. How many points does he have? Giannis has 18 points. Yeah. Most of them feel like they've been those dunks. Come on, get a stop here before the half. I feel like this was a quick first half. Russ is getting up there. Let's see, how old is Russ? I almost searched Russell Westbrook age, but I meant Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is 36. He is just about done. I mean, it's honestly impressive he's still been able to, like, he wasn't terrible last season. He wasn't great by any means, but I think Tom Brady and LeBron in their respective sports have broken people's brains in terms of what they expect out of aging athletes. And they assume, well, they were able to play at such a high level so late in their career. Brady won a Super Bowl. LeBron is still having like 40-point games and breaking records and, you know, doing all of that stuff. But they are superhuman, and most athletes are not going to be able to play at that level at that age. I mean, one, both Tom and LeBron have for a long time taken extensive care of their bodies. You just hear about the amount of money they spend on it, the amount of time that they've put into it over the years. And I think that really has allowed both of them to elongate their careers in the way that they have. And a lot of people aren't, as just committed to doing that as the two of them were. Which that's still to me one of the most impressive things about LeBron and his career is the way he has taken care of himself from a very young age, where I feel like it would have been easy to not do that when you are young. You're one of the best players in the league. You're coming into all of this money that you could have never dreamed of having in your life before. And to have kind of the attention to detail and I don't know, just like respect for his future career that he's had is one of the most impressive things about him. The foresight to be like, I know if I'm going to do this for a long time, I have to start taking care of myself now, not later, but now. When I was watching, I think I mentioned this in my last live that I was watching Court of Gold on Netflix, which is the kind of like, I don't know, it's got maybe like six to eight episodes about the US Olympic team this last year. There was a really interesting clip of Steve Kerr talking to Anthony Edwards. They hadn't really interacted much before, obviously, but um, Steve Kerr being the coach of the Olympic team and Anthony Edwards kind of being a rising star in the league, he stopped him after a practice and was talking to him about kind of like what he feels like he needs to do to take it to the next level. And he mentioned like how hard LeBron practices every single day. And Steve even said like, hey, I haven't really worked closely with LeBron, but being here with him and seeing how hard he works every day, like it makes a lot of sense for why he's gotten to where he has. And he was just kind of encouraging him to like look at guys like LeBron and Steph and what their commitment is to everything to, you know, make sure he's doing that to take it to the next level. Because Anthony Edwards definitely has the talent, um, but talent only takes you so far, honestly. You have to have that extra level of commitment that some of these other guys have had to be a champion and be really good for a really long time. I like Anthony Edwards, though. It was a fun dynamic watching that documentary and seeing kind of the old guard players and the younger guys. And yeah, it was cool that they were able to all do that. And I didn't realize until then that I hadn't thought about it, that it was Steph's first Olympics, which is really crazy that he hadn't participated in one before. But I'm glad all the guys joined for it. Oh, let's see. Let me look on my list of other NFL moves that have happened that we can talk about. Oh, this wasn't an NFL move, but the other day after one of the Cavs wins, where DeAndre Hunter was doing great down the stretch, he referred to DeAndre Hunter as the Predator for his nickname. I don't know if this has been a thing I'm assuming it was probably a thing in Atlanta, and that's where it's coming from. However, I think that should go away. I think we should probably not be calling our other Cleveland athletes that we like the Predator, given the quarterback situation on the Browns. Feels like maybe let's not do that. So just had to throw that out there. I don't know if anyone else has been calling him the Predator, but that one is going to be a no for me. Let's see. Oh, yes, Joey Bosa was cut. There's a lot of just like pass rusher news happening in the last few weeks with some bigger names, which is interesting. Obviously, Miles being one of them. Um, I saw a lot of Niners fans making edits of Joey Bosa on the Niners with Nick, which would be interesting. I feel like that's probably not going to happen, but would be cool to see some brothers playing together. Megatron for DeAndre. I don't hate that either, but I do agree it's kind of already an iconic nickname, so it is probably hard for that to catch on. There's another really if anyone needs more basketball in their life, interesting. It's like a fictional show on Netflix. I think it's called Running Point. But I think the basis of the show is supposed to be about Jeannie Buss and the Lakers because the TV show is basically following a woman who is coaching this NBA or not coaching, managing this NBA team. And so I feel like it's definitely based off of Jeannie Buss and the Lakers. But it was it was like a 10 episode show or something. Good quick episodes. Very much recommend if you want some basketball. She has to like manage the different types of player personalities. You know, you got some of the ones doing interesting things off the court, and I thought it was a good show. Always love incorporating some sports into just a regular show. Do I have any hobbies? Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of hobbies. I mean, sports obviously being the number one. Watching them, talking about them. I like working out. I like cooking. I like music. I really like everything, to be honest. Traveling, all kinds of things. I just enjoy life. I did see it got picked up for a season two. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Sometimes you just need like a lighthearted show that doesn't make you think very much and is just kind of like goofy. Oh, I do also enjoy reading. Yep, that's another one for me too. Who's my favorite NBA team? The Cleveland Cavaliers. WNBA I don't follow as much, I would say. I'll just like watch games here and there and more so just following the star players. So I don't really think I have a favorite team as of now, but give me a couple years because the city of Cleveland is getting their WNBA team back and that'll be my team. The Cleveland Rockers are back, baby. Is there any team in the East that I am worried about? Yeah, I was touching on this a little bit earlier, but we can get deeper into it. Boston is always going to be the number one concern. I think they have the most ways that they can beat us. Obviously, they've done it in the past. They are the defending champs. That's the number one team that's going to scare me in the East. Okay, tried to refresh again. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why that has happened today, but let me know if you can hear me again. Okay. Oh, so frustrating because then people leave and I'm like, sorry. I didn't mean to. Maybe it's because I'm on my laptop. I've been using my phone for a lot of these lately. Um, and maybe that works a little bit better. But we're still working, always working out the logistics. I don't even remember what I was just talking about. Oh, what teams I'm worried about in the East. Um, so I was saying those kind of like more mid-level teams like the Magic or the Pacers that don't have that level of star talent. I just don't get as nervous about them in the playoffs because I think they don't have the ability to flip a switch like a Bucks or obviously the Celtics. Now in the West, I feel like it's so up in the air on like who worries me. Obviously the Thunder worry me. The Nuggets worry me. Honestly, the Lakers a little bit worry me. Like Luca is such a star. I just feel like I don't know who's going to come out of the West. I really don't. I feel like it could go in so many directions, which I guess is honestly, that's a great place for the NBA to be. I know people complain about like the level of NBA play, and that is just like people just aren't enjoying watching it as much. But I like that there's so much parity right now. Like it's really pretty uncertain how things are going to go in the postseason. And I think that's a great thing. Now, hopefully, just for the sake of the league in the postseason, it's not all like sweeps for all of the series. Will definitely be better for everyone if they're competitive series. Wow, you're very confident in the Thunder. I mean, they're a great team. I don't I don't disagree that that could be a possibility. Yeah, I feel like Denver gives them their biggest chance to or biggest fight. LeBron versus the Cavs in the finals would actually break my brain. I I would really have I mean, I would be cheering for the Cavs obviously cuz Cleveland over everything, but that would be so hard for me cuz I really have not in many situations had to root against LeBron because when the Lakers have been competitive, it wasn't really affecting the Cavs in any way. And when the Cavs have been competitive, the Lakers really haven't been. So if we were in that position, that would be so heartbreaking to have to root against LeBron. But I would do it. As a Cavs fan, I would do it. It would just, it would make me sad because for all LeBron arguments, it would be great for him to get another ring. And obviously, for my LeBron is the GOAT argument, that would be very important. But yeah, can't be picking them over my Cavs though. Sorry. Love LeBron always. It's going to be so interesting to watch over the years in the West here is the Rockets. Kind of curious about how that they're going to do in the playoffs. Oh yeah, the Cavs Lakers story will yeah, that'll make people happy for sure within the media sphere. Although I still think the media would prefer Celtics Lakers because of the big markets, and everyone likes to hate on the Cavs. So, the funniest scenario for all of the people in the media who hate when small markets go that far would be OKC Cleveland. To have Oklahoma City and Cleveland be the two cities that everyone's got to go back and forth to for the finals. I would love that. Wow. I mean, the stats that they just put about Donovan having the fewest minutes per game played in his career and then pretty low on the points per game in his career. It's obviously not shocking to see that. I think that's something we've all been able to see and feel throughout the season without even looking at the numbers. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, though, that that is the case. You know, he doesn't have to do that. And it's going to hopefully allow him to have some more longevity in the playoffs and be able to turn it on when he needs to. Because he really had to carry the team on his back last year. And that didn't work out well. It's a lot for one guy. So I think he's probably perfectly happy with where his stats are at, even though it's, not as good as some other years he's had. Max Strus and his fighting for rebounds. That is a beautiful thing. Look at him. I think at one point there were trade rumors before the deadline for Kuzma and the Cavs. I don't think I would have liked that. I don't think he would have fit the Cavs vibe. I'm not sure he falls in the ethical basketball category. Good job, Darius. Ah, what a weird looking shot. Sometimes when the 7-footers take shots, I'm like, look strange. Struce. Oh, ooh, Kenny with the challenge. I love a Kenny challenge. All right, let's see in the comments here. We did get Miles back. Yes. Best news. Really helping us out on a Sunday. I think I'm going to do a more comprehensive video on it this week just to give my full thoughts on it because I feel like I talk about it on these lives, but I need a spot for people to be able to just hear my individual thoughts on that. I'm really curious. Okay, next time I do one of these, I'm doing it on my phone because this whole connection thing is super annoying. All right. This is an interesting rumor about a potential Greg Newsome trade. Greg Newsome and some day 3 picks may have already been keeps cutting out. Something I found interesting, I was walking past Brown Stadium today, and they have all the different pictures of a lot of the star players up going kind of all around the stadium. And had some random players, but the one that they didn't have was Greg Newsome, which I found interesting because they had like JOK, Grant Delpit, Martin Emerson, Denzel, like some of the secondary defensive players, but they didn't have Greg Newsome as one of the pictures, which I just found interesting because he was a first round draft pick for them, has been a part of the franchise for many years now. Um, so I just thought that was interesting. And obviously, there's been rumors for a long time of their attempts to want to move on from him. But I don't know. We'll see. No, I don't think it's your connection. I think it's my connection. I have to keep reloading. For some reason, my computer is doing this today where it keeps saying my connection's bad and then I have to reload. So, not your fault. Something on my end. Mm. Oh, getting sloppy. Oh, Max Struess with the almost put back. Look at that hustle all night from Max Struess. Oh, that was an insanely deep 3 he just took there. Oh my god, get a rebound, Cavs. Come on, Donovan. You need 22 for a Donovan parlay. Love that. Let's see. What is he at right now? He's got, oh, 10. 10, 5, and 5. It's not quite there. Max Strus has 17 points tonight. Mm. Do I have any belief now in the front office that they'll build around Miles? I mean, look, that's the only way they can go, right? You give him this type of contract. And I do feel like, in a sense, defensively, at least, they've always done that, right? Like, especially I think the move to bring in Jim Schwartz a few years ago as the defensive coordinator, I think was really specific in how he utilizes his pass rushers and to give Miles a defense that he could really excel in. And then we saw the first year in Jim Schwartz's defense, he won Defensive Player of the Year. So, um, you know, they just have to keep bringing in the right talent around him. But I think at the end of the day, like I have said many times and feel like a broken record about it, but you have to figure out quarterback, because even if you figure out things on the defensive side of the ball again and get closer to what that defense looked like 2 years ago, it doesn't matter as much if you are still really struggling at quarterback and can't put together a competent offense. Oh, Giannis, so talented. Who would be the new owner after Haslam steps down? I think Dan Gilbert should buy the team. Dan Gilbert should buy the Cleveland Browns. That's what I want. It's not going to happen, but that's what I want. Ooh, this is a fun question. Would I rather have Flacco or Rodgers as a bridge quarterback? I would take Flacco. Um, Mostly because, like, look, they're both like aging quarterbacks that I think would struggle, but I would prefer, the to not have to deal with some of the off the field things that come along with Aaron Rodgers and him going on Pat McAfee every week and talking about the organization. I don't want to do that. So I'll take Flacco in that sense. We just need to get back to some sense of normalcy with this team. So that's where I'm at on that. Jeez. Gotta make your shots, guys. Come on. Too close for comfort. They're doing it again. Ugh. Please make it. Oh my God. We gotta make our shots. Thank God. Jared Allen. Had a boy. Dang it. No, no, no. Oh, all right. Thank God, DeAndre. It's our boy. Thought he was going to miss that one, but beautiful shot. Very necessary. Right from the corner. Okay, some questions. What are my favorite Cavs giveaways or promotions? Interesting question. I mean, I love when they do a bobblehead. I have so many Cavs bobbleheads. It's actually ridiculous. I feel like I have most of the team. Um, they gave this cool quarter I had earlier this season that was pretty sick, so that's fun. I just think the Cavs do a great job like interacting and engaging with their fans in general. Um, they do a great job through social media. I don't have season tickets, but I know they do really great things for season ticket holders. And yeah, it's just like a good overall experience. This isn't a giveaway, but we have like an amazing team shop. Like I actually want to buy everything in the team shop. It is a problem. Everything is so great there and so cute, especially compared to, I don't know, sometimes like sports merch can be very just like all the same looking and looks like just printed on, but they do a really great job of having like cool, unique things. Yeah, the problem is like I don't think Aaron Rodgers would make us a top tier team. So um I feel like the attention would come, but I'm just not quite sure that the winning would come along with it too. Just need one season of no limelight, you know? Two separate thoughts. Okay. Fair. Very fair. I didn't know these comments had character limits, but you learn something new every day. All right, we back. Mm, on defense. Mm. Where exactly is Berea? Berea is near-ish the Cleveland airport. It's like southwest of the city, probably like 20 minutes away from the downtown area. It's where obviously the Cavs practice facilities currently are. That's where training camp takes place. And I think that's obviously part of why they want to build the future stadium in that same general area. Good job, Ty. Yeah, I would agree we need a Cavalanche. I would like one as soon as possible. Maybe to start the fourth quarter, that would be lovely. I feel like people have been overusing, like, online, outside of our Cav sphere, the term Cavalanche and using it incorrectly. And I'm like, there's very specific circumstances in which you can use the term Cavalanche, and people are non-Cavs fans are just throwing it in other situations about the Cavs when it doesn't pertain. So we'll have to be out there spreading the good word and setting the record straight on what a Cavalanche is. Love a jump ball. Come on, DeAndre. Ooh, good hands, Ty. What do I think they do at the old stadium after they move? I don't know, probably uh, nothing. Yeah. I mean, the thing everyone says is like obviously Cleveland needs to use their waterfront property more, but like we have such a long way to go on that's going to take a very long time to get there. Nice. Oh, that's a big shot right there. Big shot to close out the third for Mr. Sam Merrill. Ah, dang it. I spoke too soon. Didn't close out the third with our shot. Ugh, Dame. Brutal. End of the third. Akron is like 35 to 45 minutes south of downtown Cleveland. But if you're in other parts of Cleveland, it's closer. Athens is like 3 hours south of Cleveland, more middle of nowhere, I would say. It's kind of like southeast of Columbus. Yep. Abby's Ohio geography lesson. Maybe that should be my new content plan. Ohio geography. Make it work. Youngstown is east. That is like an hour, basically. An hour east. Let's see how long my phone says it would take me. An hour and 10 minutes to get to Youngstown. It's basically equal distance between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. So Youngstown is an interesting city where a lot of people who grow up there and are from there, half of them become Steelers fans, half of them become Browns fans, even though technically it is in Ohio. There's people that work in Youngstown or that live in Youngstown that work in Pittsburgh and vice versa. So it's a very split city. I wonder what the Giants are going to end up doing. I'm so curious. Yeah, I really have no clue. Let's see. Over under 30 seconds Tristan Thompson plays in this. Yeah. I know last time we got a little too excited on our like, oh, we're up, we're winning. Tristan Thompson's going to be playing like 5 minutes of this game. Probably not this time. I'm going to say no. I think this game is going to be close to the end, so I'm going to say under 30 seconds. Feels like it's been hard fought. I feel like Giannis with his dunks are going to keep him in it. You know, what is hopeful for the Giants, though, is Malik Neighbors looks awesome. And I feel like they should be excited about that for their future. If nothing else, Malik Neighbors looks great. They just need someone to throw to him, which is the issue. I saw an interesting article about this the other day on how like it really feels like they're oh shoot, is Evan okay? Okay. It really feels like there are not as many good like mid-level type quarterbacks in the NFL anymore. Like there's like the Baker Mayfield level that I would say is like a mid-level type quarterback. And there used to be a lot more of those type of quarterbacks. And it feels like it's a lost art in a way. There's like the top tier of quarterbacks that are every year kind of in the conversation of like top five or close to top five. Elite is what you would consider them. And then there's just a lot of like ones that you wouldn't really even want to hold on to as like for a couple of years, like you would for a Baker or like I would say like a Jared Goff maybe in that realm of quarterback. Good job, Sam Merrill. How many points does Sam Merrill have today? Merrill's got 9. For some reason, it feels like he's had more, but I guess he's had 3 threes. Oh, Mobes. Ah. 10 minutes to go. Ugh. Stuff. Good job, Donovan. Man, Donovan's moves driving to the basket, just always putting people in a blender. And we love to see it. Oh, hate that. Good job, Evan. Good defense from Evan. This game is getting pretty intense, it feels like. It's a little sloppy. I think the intensity is causing the sloppiness, but they're getting a lot of second chance shots here. rebounding or the ball's bouncing their way, which I don't love. Donovan. That's our boy. Oh, nice. Oh, grab it. Come on. Big turnover. Offensive foul. I like when Evan starts yelling at the refs. I think it's funny. That's when you know something went down. Oh, that's so lame. Oh my God, that's so lame. Like, I get it, but it's lame. It looked like he even tried to move out of the way. Whatever, we'll have to do it on our own. Nice. Oh, great. Isaac Okoro defense there. Beautiful ball movement. Beautiful shot. Oh my God, that is ethical Cavs basketball right there if I've ever seen it. That is what that is. That was huge. Dean Wade. Oh, couple big moments right there. I'll take it. Kind of like having Isaac out here for some good defense down the stretch in this game. Good job, Darius. Traveling. Turnover. Stop complaining. Oh, please don't turn it over, Darius. Another fantastic. Oh, nice shot. That was beautiful ball movement again, though. I'm really loving that. The ethical ballers. I like that. That's great. We will not tell you who wins. There will be one team that wins, but we won't say who. 6.5 minutes to go. Just a little box score check. Giannis has 26 points and Dame has 22. Kuzma 14. Really, their bench hasn't done much other than Sims, who has 8. Or Sims has, no, Sims doesn't have any, other than Trent, who has 5. But not much from their bench. Whereas the Cavs off the bench have 9 from Merrill, 9 from Jerome, 6 from Hunter, 6 from Dean Wade. Beautiful. Really evenly dispersed scoring this game. 15 for Donovan, 13 for Evan, 9 from Jarrett, 11 from Darius, 17 from Max. Max still our leading scorer, even though he hasn't been out. Okay, I think I'm back again. Gosh, sorry guys. I swear next time I'm not using my laptop because this is ridiculous. That this has happened like 5 times now on one stream when it's never happened any other time I've done this before. One of those days. Maybe it's daylight savings. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Daylight savings. Hopefully it doesn't do it down the stretch here. Okay, Isaac Okoro coming in with some heat. Wonder where we're at on the over-under Tristan Thompson minutes now. I don't know. Yes, exactly. The over is looking better. Yeah, Giannis does take a long time from the line. It's like, okay, we get it. Move it along. Dying again. Come on. Oh, Darius with the deep 3. No. They're really playing a small ball out there right now. Minus Jarrett. That was beautiful. 13-0 run in the last 4 minutes and 18 seconds from the Cavs. I think we can call that a Cavalanche, right? Water. Yeah, I don't hate the small ball down the stretch. I just think it's always interesting when they do go to that. Thank God they're playing a little bit better tonight for this ESPN game because I feel like sometimes when they have these nationally televised games, they don't have their best showings. And I'm like, this is why no one thinks we're good and that we don't actually have it. Yeah, it might be Tristan time soon here. Could it be? Still got 4 minutes left, but um they're beating a pretty good team on the road. When will they get respect? Look, I think for the people that don't respect the Cavs, it's just not going to happen until they like beat Boston or someone like that in the playoffs. I just don't think you're going to be able to convince people that they can do it until they actually do it. Which in some ways is fair. Like I don't think that's like so crazy. I mean, some people get a little extreme with their Cavs disrespect, but yeah. I think I'm feeling good about our Tristan Thompson over now, actually, rather than the under. I think they're up by enough where I feel like Milwaukee is going to put their bench guys in pretty soon. Oh, that wasn't those fadeaways, man, from Giannis are so killer. Dean, beautiful, gorgeous shot from Dean Wade. Darius messing around. About to go to 54-10. Can you guys believe it? That is just So insane. I would not have projected that or even close to that before the season. Like, I did bet the over on their wins, but I wasn't like I wasn't expecting this at all. Oh my god. Darius? Oh, gets a shot back. Mm. Don't foul him this late. We're up by like 20 now. Just let it go. Let it go. Game's over. Mm. They putting the bench in. Are we getting TT? Let's see. Mm, not yet. No Tristan yet. Guys, I'm about 75% of the way there to my goal of 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We're just up at about 750 now. So we're getting there, hitting goals. Oh, we do have our bench guys in now. Is Tristan out there? I can't see. They need to make the screen bigger. Yes. There he is. Good old Tristan making his appearance. Who should we root for to score here? Maybe Craig Porter. Could use a Craig Porter basket. Oof, a little short. Mm. Craig Porter getting his hands in there. Why are they pressing on the Cavs? Like, relax. Come on, Craig. Tristan with a basket tonight. Wow. Should have had the over on that. I wonder if they would even have odds up for that, for like Tristan to score over 2 points. Probably not. Maybe some books would, but oh, Tristan running point. Ooh. Okay. Nice shot. That was a really nice shot actually from the corner there. Mm, game. All right. Another win, 54 and 10. It's a beautiful thing. Love to see it. Schedule wise, in terms of future lives, I don't know if I'll be able to do any this week because I'm going to two of the next three games. So it might not be possible, but um, hoping to put out some other videos this week about Miles' contract, hopefully some other Browns free agency moves. So should keep an eye out on the YouTube for those if I'm not doing any lives. But probably the following week we'll be back with some lives then. And we're just inching closer and closer to the playoffs. Sorry about the internet issues tonight. Hopefully next time that won't be a problem. Just always something in the technology space. But thank you guys for being here tonight and go Cavs.